Morning, friends. Don't mind the messy kitchen because, as per usual, I'm trying to do 5 different things at once. So the kitchen's a little bit of a mess. I'm getting cabinets ready to paint and organizing and everything. But I wanted to do a video because I don't make resolutions, but I make goals. And one of my goals for this year was to finally stop being afraid and do some things new. One of those was to start my YouTube channel, which I actually started a little bit before the new year, but it was still a goal. And I have wanted to make my own lotions for quite a while. Our daughter suffers from eczema very bad. I mean, very, very bad. It goes hand in hand with some of her it goes hand in hand with some of her other autoimmune problems. And oh boy, since she was a baby, we've done the oatmeal, we've done prescriptions. Wasn't crazy about them because they had steroids in them, so we stopped using those. As she got older, it's gotten worse. Well, we finally did find a medication that she's been using for about 2 years now. Around 2 years, I think she's been using it. It has no steroid in it, but it's still, you know, a prescription. It's very pricey, which it helps her, so we're not complaining because thank God we do have some insurance. Oh, my scarf moved. But I want to find a way to help her. Now, I have tried a lot of natural things. When she was a baby, we would steep chamomile tea in a bowl, let it steep for as long as we could. Like, it would steep, get really strong, and we would pour that into her bath, and she'd take a bath in it, which she loved because it made her bath yellow. And she just thought that was so cool, taking a bath in colored water. And that would help her. And sometimes the really bad spots, like on her arms and stuff, we would put the actual tea bags, and it did help. But part of eczema, part of anxiety is the eczema. When she's very, very anxious, she'll have flare-ups. So I want to help her as naturally as we can. I also have some dry skin, not to the extent of hers, but this time of year, it's going to be hard pressed, especially with all the hand sanitizing we're doing. It is murder on your hands. So I'm going to finally do it. I've been putting it off. I bought everything like end of summer, last fall, and I've just been putting it off, and I'm going to get it done today. I was cleaning out my pantry and organizing, and that's when I came across all the tins and ingredients and stuff, and I'm like, today is the day we're going to do it. So part of it I've already done, so I just wanted to show you. This is my calendula oil. Okay, I grew my own calendula, dried the flowers, and when they were dry, put them in almond oil. Was this almond oil or grapeseed oil? Almond oil. I'm pretty sure this is almond oil. And let it steep in a dark place. I let it go 2 or 3 weeks, and I think the recipe says 2 to 3 weeks. I definitely let it go at least that long, and then I strained it. So I just want to show you, I made lavender oil with lavender I grew last year and dried, and this is how it's the same way. I did this, the chamomile, the calendula oil. I did chamomile oil too, but this is lavender, and I did this. This is how I did it. Okay, these are all things I have bought and sterilized and cleaned before I use them, and I only use them for this. Like, I bought the measuring cup and the strainer and everything. These are all just for, and I got these all at the dollar store, so these are all just for that. So I just wanted to show you, and I just push down as much as I can. I've been letting it drip. I think it's pretty much done. So now I'll put this in a mason jar with a lid, and now I've got lavender oil. Okay, so let me tell you the ingredients, because besides that, so this recipe is actually for chamomile, which I'm going to make some of that too, but I'm just going to use the calendula oil. It's, you know, no big deal. So you're going to need a scale, glass jars with lid, the strainer, which that's for doing the first part, 2 heat-proof jars or containers. I'm using mason jars, large saucepan, a spoon, small dark glass jar. I'm not sure what you know. Oh, I guess to store, I'm storing mine in something different, but a small dark glass jar, rubber spatula, a thermometer, which I have a digital thermometer, which again, I bought just for this. I won't use it for anything else. So, and you need, so it was 1 cup of dried chamomile or calendula or lavender flowers and stems. You need 1 cup and 1.5 cups of sweet almond oil. So you just let those steep for a couple of weeks, strain it really well, cap it, and you've got calendula oil. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there. Okay, so I don't need this. I will link the recipe for this. So I have sterilized all my equipment. I've washed everything really, really well. It's just drying right now on a towel. I also have disposable gloves. Okay, so we're gonna measure all the ingredients into our actual jars. So let me just get my hands washed, get my gloves on, and I will bring you along. Okay, got my gloves on and we're ready. So first thing we're gonna do is what she calls the oil phase. So we're gonna put the ingredients for the oil phase into 1 jar. So that is my emulsifying wax, which I got off Amazon. I will link the link for this so you can find it. I had a very hard time finding it, so I definitely had to get it off Amazon. So we are gonna need 1 tablespoon of this. It says if you want a thinner lotion, you can use just 1 or 2 teaspoons, but I'm gonna go with the tablespoon. Okay, that's 1 tablespoon. And 2 tablespoons of the calendula oil. I'll just pour it in. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, so there's 1 jar. That's the oil phase, and we're going to put it in this pot right there, okay? And then the water phase is 90 milliliters or 3.04 fluid ounce. So distilled water, you can buy it at the pharmacy section of any grocery store. This is very important to use. Do not use tap water, well water. It has to be distilled water. We're bang on. Okay. So in there. So they're both going to go in that pot. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. And there has to be 1 inch of water in this pot. Carefully. It's about 1 inch of water. Okay. Sorry if you can hear the dryer going. So bring water to a boil, reduce the heat to a simmer, and you're ready for the next step after you've heated and held the jars for at least 20 minutes. And the contents of both jars are 165 Fahrenheit or 75 Celsius. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that go. So I have one of my canning mats I made. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. And then they're going to sit here for 20 minutes. And 20 minutes and or till they reach the right temperature, which is, I'm looking for 165 Fahrenheit. Okay, I'll see you back here when we reach temperature. I'm going to take time too to show you. These are the containers I bought. I don't think I'm going to need all these for today, but these are the containers I bought. They've been sterilized and washed. I'm just letting them dry over here. And of course I got them on where else? Amazon. I couldn't find a source locally for them. The dollar store had some, but they were really tiny. I bought some because my plan is to try lip balms too, because I don't have enough to do. But anyway, yeah, so I got those. I think this is only going to make 1 of those tins, but that's okay, because if it doesn't work, then I'm not out a whole bunch of product. So I do have beeswax too that I bought. I know there's lots of recipes, and I don't know if I can use the emulsifying wax in place of that. I got to do a little more research. I did research when I was going to do this last summer, and I've forgotten everything I read. But anyway, I'll stick with this for now. But I've made candles too, and that's one of the reasons I bought the beeswax. So the other thing you're going to need is called Geo Ultra Guard. This is only if you don't think you're going to use this up in a week. This will go bad in a week, especially, you know, you're putting your fingers in it and using it, bacteria, everything. It's not pretty. So it took me a while, but I sourced an organic Geo Ultra Guard. I got it off of SD. It's from a lady who lives in Quebec. If I can find the link, I will link it. I did buy it last summer, so I'll try and find it. Her packaging has a cup, I think maybe has the link, her address or something there, so I'll hopefully be able to find it. I'm going to use it because, you know, even if it makes one of these tins, I don't really want to touch it because even if it makes one of these tins, my daughter probably still won't use all that in a week. So I'm going to use it. Okay, so we're still at 144. Oh, no, we're up to 145. We've got about 7 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, we reached 165 Fahrenheit. So now we have to, I'm just going to bring it down a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so now we have to pour the heated distilled water into the oil. And it's going to turn a milky, opaque color. So we gently stir for several minutes. I hate when they say several minutes. Several could be 2, 5, 20. Like, what's several? Okay. And here I have 2/3 teaspoon of that Geo Ultra Guard in a teaspoon of hot water just to dissolve. So that will be ready. I don't see it milky white yet. Maybe that's when you have to stir it till it gets to that. Okay, so we leave the spoon inside the jar because we're going to have to come back in 5 minutes and give it another stir. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to stir it again. I can definitely feel the difference when I'm stirring it. It's starting to thicken up. And it's not quite as bright, let's show you, as when I first put it in. Though I guess if that's what she means by milky white, I'm not sure. But anyway, okay, so there it is. So I'm going to stir it again, basically every 20 minutes till it's cool. In 20 minutes, I'm going to add the Geo Ultra Guard. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, it hasn't been quite 20 minutes. It's only been 10. But this is getting really thick, so I'm going to add the Geo Guard now, Geo Ultra Guard, to preserve it. Okay. So if you make this without a preservative, the Geo Ultra Guard or any other preservative you want to use, it will last 1 week in the refrigerator. After that time, invisible bacteria and fungi will begin colonizing it, and it will not be something you want to put on your face or any part of your body. So, alright. I'm going to come back in 10 minutes, stir it again, and I mean, it's not very warm anymore, and we might pour it into the tins. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. So the recipe says you can also add chamomile essential oil. I don't have any right now. I have lots of essential oils, but that's not one of them. It's already and it has to be at least 110 degrees or cooler before you add that. This is already at 98 degrees, so I'm going to assume this is done and ready to pour into the tin. So give it a final stir. All right, let's see how we go here. Not gonna get quite 2. Oh, maybe, no, I'm gonna get 2. Wow, okay. It's definitely thicker than when we started. Almost looks like banana pudding. I have to say, this was much easier than I thought. I can't believe I put off doing this for as long as I did. I think the hardest part was finding all the ingredients I needed. And I'm growing more chamomile and calendula this year. So I think I'll be making more. There we go. So we'll just let them cool a little bit longer before we put the lids on. And that will last approximately 18 months according to the recipe, or whatever the date on your oil was. No, sorry. The date for the oil was when you were doing your infused oil. See, this is when you should put, I forgot to write on one of the jars, the almond oil I used when it expired, but I know it was like 2023, so I know I'm good for a while. So I'll try and get that used up. I'll make a bunch more of this. But yeah, so this will last 18 months because I use the Gia Guard Ultra preservative. So I'm really anxious for my daughter to try it. It's going to thicken up definitely to more lotion consistency. So I will do a follow-up. We'll see how this does on her skin. She's got one and I've got one, so we're both going to try it. I'll let you know how it goes. So it's been a couple of days since I made the lotion. Just going to show it to you right here. We've been using it, and my husband's been using it. I've been using it. My daughter's been using it, and I have to say I like it. I can definitely feel a difference. My hands are much softer. It doesn't seem to wash off as quick as maybe some other lotions, so it's staying on longer in between hand washings. And a little goes a long way. You don't need a lot. It's not greasy. It soaks in really quick, which I really like. And there's no smell. I have no smell to it at all. My daughter thinks she can smell something, but I can't. When I make this again, which I will do, I will add some vitamin E oil to it, a couple drops, just to give it a little bit more vitamins, you know, for your skin. And it was a lot easier than I thought. There's a check mark for one of the few new things that I want to try this year. And I'm happy I did it, and I will be doing it again. Thanks for coming along with me on trying one of my goals that I've been wanting to try for a while. This is the year of trying something new for me. And I've got all kinds of new things I'm trying. You're all doing well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.